This bike was running just fine last year. However, this year it wouldn't start. And when I went to check if I had spark, surprisingly, I didn't. And when you look real close, you'll actually notice I do have spark. It's just incredibly weak. What's up, guys? Today I'm working on a 1980 Yamaha QT50. We have a big issue. It was running just fine last year. However, this year I went to start it up and I noticed that we didn't have spark. Well, that's not exactly true. We do have a spark, but let me show you exactly what's going on. So at first glance, it looks like we don't have spark, but looking a lot closer and with the lights off, because these lights are ridiculous, you'll actually see that we do have spark. And I have already swapped out the spark plugs, so I know it's not the spark plug. This bike does not have points. So with a little bit of internet searching, I found out that there's actually a charging coil on this ignition here. So today, now that we have our flywheel puller in, we're gonna go ahead and take this flywheel off and see if we can't test that coil. Because apparently if you run the same battery with it being dead for so long, it can actually ruin that coil. So if this is the case, I'd say go ahead and replace that $30 battery instead of having to do this procedure here. This is the first time I've ever done this, so let's go ahead and see if we can figure it out together. So I actually ended up going back and I realized that my multimeter, I have this set to 200. And looking at a manual, it actually has us in the range of about 295. So the 200 would never show. I should have had this on the 2000. Now, this is where things get a little complicated. This is the first time I actually ever had to do this. So I went up, picked a soldering iron from my local Home Depot, and check it out, it's even got a little flashlight. I just started working on heating up the solder to hopefully remove the wires off of this current charging coil, which to my surprise was a lot easier than I thought it would be. So taking off the charging coil, we can actually go ahead and test it. And looking at the QT50 manual, you'll actually see that our charging coil should be around 295 ohms plus or minus 10%, which that gives us a range of 325 to 265 ohms. And looking at our current one, you can actually see that we're more closer to the 17 to 20% loss instead of that 10%, which pretty much makes that one junk. Now it's time to finally start putting this charging coil on. I started by heating up the prongs to match the temperature that I'm going to start adding the solder to. And then, with a couple attempts, I was able to actually get solder on the prongs. And you know what? I'm not mad at that. I think I did pretty good. What do you guys think? And it's important to make sure that your coil is in place when you go to reinstall the soldered wires to the coil. You're going to want to make sure that you put a little bit of solder on the wire itself before bonding the two together. And honestly, just take your time. Don't get too frustrated here. As you guys can see, that right there is kind of what you're looking for. It's a pretty easy process, but it may take a couple of times. So now, with our magneto all put together, we're going to go ahead and reinstall it into the bike. Making sure to reconnect all of our wires. And when I tested for spark, there it is. It looks great, night and day difference. And all that's left to do is to see if this bike runs again.